So I'm Stanley. I'm a final year student in SIAT. What is a portfolio? A portfolio is really a body of work that you put together that represents you. I like to call it a narrative of who you are as a designer. So you should be able to communicate who you are, your values, what you enjoy, what you like, what you not like, and your taste in work and what you're capable of, the value you're capable of bringing to your clients, your employers. That's what your portfolio should represent. Making a portfolio, I think, really begins with knowing who you are, knowing what kind of designer you are, and where do you want to begin. So you really need to start thinking about what is important to you in design, what distinguishes you from your friends as other designers, what is the value that you bring, and what distinguishes you from them, what makes you different. All these questions are really important, and that's how you really want to begin putting a portfolio together. Once you've identified those factors, that's where you can begin to assemble the works that fit within those guidelines and those descriptions of who you think you are. Because not all the work that we do in school or not all the client work that you do are really the work that you want to be known for or what you want to be represented by. So you need to start making the distinction. And once you've got that, then start taking the work that you think are best, that says the best things about you, projects that excites you the most. And yeah, paring away all those that are irrelevant and boiling it down to just 6, 7, 8, even 10 pieces of work that mean the most to you, that you can talk the most about and which you're the most excited by. And those are the works that will go into your portfolio. And once you've done all that stuff, that's where you start to think about the technical details of, do you want to program it? Do you want to use a portfolio service? Do you want to get someone else to do it for you? Yeah, all that stuff comes after. It's always the thinking process and all that identification of your work and taking stuff away. That's the most important. That's where all of us should begin, really. When you choose what are the components of a project to put in, you want to put in the component. You want to talk about the background of the project, where it began, where you're headed towards in that assignment or in that project for a client, and you want to talk about achievements, like what did that project do? Did it increase the sales or the conversion rates for a client? Did it introduce a new way of thinking among your classmates in the classroom, if it was a class assignment? What kind of tangible differences did that work make? And that's where you want to think about. And yeah, and you don't want to necessarily, you want to give enough information in that to excite people what that project represents and give them enough to know about how impactful or how important the project was to you or to your clients or to the audiences. And yeah, and leave something to talk about in your interviews. I mean, at the end of the day, in your portfolios, depending on which stage you are in your career, but I think for most of us students, a portfolio is a way for us to get face-to-face with employers, get face-to-face with clients. And so you want to leave something to talk about. So maybe not put everything in, but put enough to get people excited, get people to want to pick up their phone and give you a call. So if you're an IAT, one of the best ways to begin would be to check out the portfolio workshops. We've been running that for about a year and a half now, I think, about a year and a half. And we have like 50 to 70 students come in every term to sit in with us and to meet up in groups and talk with other people and talk about where they are in your portfolios, what portfolios are, and that's really a means to an end. Like that's really just what the conversation that really happens in those meetings, in those workshops, is people talk about design. People talk about what excites them the most about design, what excites them the most about the work that they do. And I think that's the best and most invigorating conversations any of us can have. So that's where you want to begin. So come to the workshops, learn about everything that I've talked about, I think, so far, about the different points in which a portfolio is really about, the step-by-step of how you get all that stuff together. I think we're starting as well a wider range of activities and workshops as well. We're starting like more technical processes as well. How do you design a website? How do you slice it up and get it up on the server for people to look at? Different services that you can use. We're really looking into those practical steps as well. So I think it's a great place. Co-op as well, as I think is a great resource. Co-op has done a great job of collecting resources of how that are unique to IAT and communications and all the other FCAT folks, all the resources that are important to us. And yeah, they've gotten all these resources together. I work with them really closely as well to see where we can help students the most. And yeah, I run a drop-in session with them too. So definitely go down to Co-op and talk to them and see what they can help you out with.